Hello and welcome to Experiencing Love. I'm your host, Philip Jacks, and I'm so glad that you're here. I'm glad that you decided to be here. Today I have a fun little episode trying out a little drawing of a waterfall, maybe. Hope you like waterfalls. And I talk a little bit about my depression and how I have found a reason for it in my life. So, if you're interested, or maybe you just want to see a waterfall, stick around, enjoy. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you're new here. Hit that bell icon so you never miss a video. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. So there's not much to it, but to do it today, there's only so much time I got. And so I'm actually trying out what it would be like to actually record and talk at the same time, which fun to think about because I barely know how to draw. Most of the time it's just coming from my head. Sometimes there's a little bit of inspiration from somewhere. But anyways, I'm trying things out. Seeing what I'm even wanting to go for. I'm also trying things out with these episodes. You know, you're going to actually hear me be very distracted. I'm also short on time. And let's be honest, this episode's going to come out a little bit later than usual today. Got to really lock in. And the point is that sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. I had a thought right before starting to record today that I was like, things are always happening for me, not to me, right? I've said that many times before. I believe it every single day. The question is, what do you do when things happen to you? Do you, believe that things are happening for you? Do you believe that everything's happening for a reason? Or is it something that's more conceptual for you? Do you still curse at the world? And, honestly, neither is right or wrong. It's just personal preference, I guess. I just found that when I'm living my life, right, and things are happening, because that's the thing, we can't control what does and doesn't happen. So when I'm living my life, I find it more enjoyable. I don't want to say comfortable, because how often is life really comfortable? I find it more enjoyable, not uncomfortable, to believe that everything happens for a reason. When I first found out that I was depressed, right? Because it was actually a revelation to me that I was depressed. I didn't know what depression was. I didn't know what anxiety was. Well, I honestly told myself, I have to believe this. I have to believe everything happens for a reason. Because, at least at the time, I was very religious, very spiritual. And I had to believe that I was given this type of lifestyle. I was given these feelings for a reason, because if not, then why? Why me? Why am I feeling depressed? Why am I feeling anxious? Why am I feeling scared and upset and hurt, really? And, I say, maybe there was a reason, maybe there wasn't, right? We all experience stuff like that. But whether there was or wasn't a reason, I pretty much found that I gave myself a reason. I gave myself a reason as to why it's a good thing that I have this, right? Or why it was a good thing I was feeling those ways. And I think it worked. It really did. Because the reason I gave myself was, let me not just use this for myself. Let me use it for other people. Depression's a real thing. People have it, people experience it, people feel it every single day. They go through life with it. Some get help, some don't. Some find ways to cope, some don't. And so I gave myself this purpose, this meaning that, it's not that I'm exactly helping people who are depressed, but I want to help people who feel depressed because of the same reasons that I have, right? And I want to know what helps me. So I spent years learning and studying and growing so that anybody else going through something similar to me can be helped by me, at least. I want to do this for others, and it's that type of thinking that has helped me so much over the last 2 years. And like, that's the thing, when I believe life is happening for me, I believe that's my reason, right? I believe that's why I have it. It might not be the truth, like the objective reason as to why I feel the way I do, because I'm still a spiritual person. I still believe in God. I still believe that I'm being guided. I may not know the actual answer, but I do know that by giving myself my own reason, I'm doing better than I ever have before. That's like the proof that I have. That's the reason that I believe in what I believe in. Because you could give yourself any reason why to do anything. But the real deciding factor of whether or not it works or not, whether or not it's true or not, is, does it get you the outcomes that you're looking for? Right? Like, are you actually doing what you want to be doing? Are you feeling the way you want to be feeling? Like I am. It took a lot of time to get here, but the journey was so incredibly worth it. So I was just saying, I was like, wow, it is so great to be where I am, to feel how I feel, because it wasn't always like this. And I talk about these things pretty often because I want you to know that if you or someone you know is feeling this way, it's not like a death sentence. It's not the end of the world. Like, there's so many ways through and around this, ones that can actually help people around you, not just yourself. And it's in those moments of purpose and reason and beliefs where people find comfort in their lives. So before, when I mentioned this life is more comfortable, yeah, it's more comfortable in some ways. But in others, it's still challenging. I'm still learning every single day. I'm still experiencing moments that scare the living crap out of me. Like, I'm talking putting myself in uncomfortable situations, like pushing myself to greater and greater heights, because I know the more I push myself, the more I have to give. Like, the more I can give to the people around me. Give smile, give love. Give smiles, give love. And that's what this is about. I learned some time ago that the secret to living is giving, right? The secret to living is giving. The more you give in your life, the better life feels, I found. Like, you may ask, like, okay, Philip, like, why do you do what you do? Like, where do you go? What do you do? And my purpose is connecting with people and giving to them whenever and however I can. I like to give my time. I like to give my energy. I like to give my love. I like to give my understanding and acceptance. Because there's so many people that don't have that in their lives. Think about it. Like, there's a chance that you've met someone that made you angry, right? If that person made you angry, what are the odds that they've made someone else angry? Right? And if they've made somebody else angry, don't you think that at some point along the line, they were just looking for someone to understand what they were going through? Yeah, maybe true, maybe not. We don't know fully. But I don't want to be one of the people that doesn't understand them. I don't want to be one of the people that judges them too early. and reacts harshly because what? I didn't give them the light of day. I didn't give them the time, the focus of seeing who they really are. Because that's the thing. It's really easy to judge. It's really easy to jump to conclusions. The reason so many people do it is because of how easy it is. So, if that's the easy route, what's the hard one? Well, the hard one is quieting the ego and saying, okay, you know what? Maybe I don't understand everything here. I was talking yesterday to a friend, or it might have been 2 days ago, and they asked me about my spirituality. They asked me if I was a religious person, if I believed in God, if I believed in Jesus. I said, of course, with some, I guess, like caveats, some stipulations, which is I believe in the religion. I believe in the beliefs, right? And the thing that I have since like not believed in as much has been, I guess, the church as a business and an organization. And we could have that discussion another time, but ultimately, it's a business, right? There's an exchange of money, there's an exchange of services happening. Yeah, it's for a greater good, but at the end of the day, business is business, and things are going to be said, things are going to be done with the intention, with the purpose of making sure that this business stays afloat. I once said, like, if everybody stopped giving money to all the churches, right, what would happen to the churches? Well, eventually they'd have to find money somewhere, or disappear, close down. You need money to run things. Like, that's just the way the world works right now. Things can't be done without it. So, anyways, things are going to be done to keep as many people there as possible. Things are going to be said, and it's hard to get everybody to agree, and I see that, and that's okay. I also see the choice that I have, that I don't have to be in a place that doesn't always suit me, that doesn't agree with me, right? I'll watch out here, acting up, or my whoop band. So, in not being in those places, right, I have these beliefs. And I was just thinking about, okay, so what is the church like? Like, why did I leave, right? Why did I step away? And I found it that the people that I was around, and I'm not saying this is the church, I'm saying this was the people that I experienced, the people that I talked to, were some of the more judgmental and criticizing people, which confused me for a while. I said, how are we going to go to a place that preaches that we should not judge others? Because in my beliefs, maybe this is just me, maybe I got it wrong all those years ago. I thought the one that's supposed to judge us is God, right? Judge our actions, judge our beliefs, judge our thoughts, all of that. I thought the one that was supposed to judge us is God. So why is every other person in the church, like an attendee of the church, also judging those around them? And they may not do it to your face, but they're sure as hell doing it behind your back. I know, because I've been a part of so many of those conversations behind people's back. And let's be so real, you're not safe from it, right? Like, if you've been a part of those conversations, hate to break it to you, hate to be the one to say this, but they're also doing it behind yours, because a habit's a habit. And it's very easy to just continue what you've always done. And again, people can do what they want, but I know that, like, being around that wasn't well for me. Like, I didn't like to gossip, I didn't like to complain, I didn't like to do all that stuff. So that was one of the reasons I started to, like, step away as well. And pretty much I just had to say, you know what, like, this just seems, something seems a bit wrong about this. Like, this doesn't make sense. And I started questioning a lot of things because I also realized, like, you're not locked to a specific place to do a certain thing like praying, right? Like, you could always switch churches. And I did a couple times. You can always find a new denomination. Like, that's not against the rules, or I guess, some people believe it is, but not me. I'm more of like, I believe everything's happening for me. And I wouldn't have these thoughts, I wouldn't have these beliefs if I wasn't meant to. If I wasn't meant to kind of like step away for whatever reason. Because it's one of those, like, kind of like how I feel about school, which is like, I'm not anti-school. I just knew that school wasn't giving me what I needed. So in that same way, like, I'm not anti-religion. I just know that this specific way isn't giving me what I need right now. And if it were to change in the future, like it were to give me something and give me what I need in the future, I would see myself going back. And so I'm open to that. And I'm actually very open. Just given a reason, just given a sign that, like, oh yeah, like, I have to go back. I'll do it in a heartbeat. Oh, dude, I will do it in a heartbeat. I tried to say. And so there's a lot to that, and I know I just kind of dumped that on here, but that's kind of like the reason that I am a spiritual person, but maybe not so much a practicing person within religions, right? So thank you for that moment. I know that's a interesting topic to go down on a beautiful Tuesday morning. Let's really think about that for a sec. Of course, I'd forget what day of the week is. I'm slowly getting back from track with time, which is funny. I used to be like real rough forgetting what day of the week it was. For a while, it was like that. 'Cause, like, I didn't have a job or anything, so I was like, the only thing I had was recording every single day, and I recorded every single day. So days started just kind of blending together. Lots of fun, honestly. So now, if you couldn't tell, my goal here was waterfall. And I think it's looking alright. Kind of copying a little bit of a picture, but more so going freehand. And just like letting that... It's like I'm kind of like playing connect the dots here. Gotta learn how to shade too. Like me throwing shade at the church. I'm just joking. Just joking about that, please. But I'm enjoying this. There's something very cathartic about drawing. I keep using the word cathartic, but I'm going to be so honest. I actually don't know what it means. I don't. I have an idea. But I think I might be mixing it up with the word therapeutic. And that's just me being honest. That's me being real. Also, I usually listen to music while I draw. That's gonna be fun to kind of navigate through later. Try to figure out what I'm doing right here. Kind of just... This might be one of those part 2 pictures. I might try to learn some shading later today and do that for you tomorrow. I think that might be actually pretty fun. Yeah, this might look a bit interesting right now, but I swear there's a purpose for it all. At least that's what I believe in. Let's go. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Topography, baby. That's what we're here for. Ooh, I don't want to completely cut you out of the picture there. 10 points if you could guess what this is going to be. This just has to get dark, pretty much. This a little bit lighter. But you know what? I think that's enough for today. I'm actually going to go to rock climbing gym, help out a little bit, do a little bit climbing. So yeah, this is where I'm going to leave this for today. And we're going to run it back, honestly, probably a little bit later. Maybe for tomorrow's episode, but I'll do that today. So you might see me a little bit more sweaty. And if that's the case, no comments about that. No comments. But anyways, let's get right to it. I want to thank you so much for listening. I want to thank you so much for being here. Hopefully you watched this with the video because I'm drawing half the time and I don't think I'm actually going to do many cuts to this one. So if you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment that you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, hit that bell icon, all of the shebang. But most importantly, I want you to have a great rest of your day. I want you to go out there with purpose, knowing that life is happening for you. No matter what tough things are coming your way, no matter what you're experiencing and how it might feel like everything's against you, it's not. The reason may be a little bit hard to find at first, but hindsight is always 20/20, so might as well make that hindsight as close to the present as possible. So, until next time, just remember to always fill up with the love, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. I love you.